about your feminine counterpart, Anima. What role does she play in your life? How can we strengthen our relationships with our male and female counterparts on Earth and beyond?
Well, again, by examining your belief systems and letting go of the ones that are outdated, outmoded, old-fashioned, and forming no balance within yourselves and recognition and respect of equality. Differences, of course, are valuable, but the idea is that fundamentally you are all equal in that context. The idea of Anima as a social engineer accompanies us many times on first contact scenarios, especially after open contact, to help guide and suggest and encourage different kinds of social engineering in societies than that society may have been used to for its history. So the idea is that Anima will also be present in many cases when we arrive and will help with the reconfiguration and social engineering of the systems on your planet to the greatest benefit of your entire population. In other words, you may call her, in that sense, a sociological efficiency expert.
Is she actually your feminine counterpart, and what does that mean?
It means we are extensions of the same oversoul.
And so do you commonly, when you're doing first contact work, do you do it with Anima?
And others, yes. She is my primary because of our soul connection.
And can you tell us a little bit about the frequency of first contact? Like, you've helped us understand that human beings operate at different frequency ranges,
Yes.
and that the higher frequency states tend to be between 175,000 and up to about...
Yes. Open contact will require a stable frequency above 200,000 cycles per second.
Really? Yes.
Yes.
So are you saying the vast majority of people on the planet, as it stands now, would not experience first contact?
Correct.
And
at least not yet in their reality, in their version of Earth. They may change and experience it later on, but again, we are not expecting the idea, due to the probabilities of choices that you have on your planet, the vast majority that exists now, to be the majority that will exist during open contact. Those that shift to the other Earth will join those already there, already existing in that alternate reality, and they will form a new majority. But the majority of the individuals on your planet now, as you understand it, on the version of Earth you experience now, will not experience contact with us in the way that you understand that concept. They may experience other things.
When you say contact with you, are you talking about the Saxani beings, or are you talking about Pleiadian and other
There is
species?
a range. There is a range. Some may experience every variation you can imagine. Some will not experience us at all.
So if you're on the Earth now where you can see the other realities, the negative ones that are happening on the planet, but you're seeing it through the glass wall in that sense, will that be the case for those who experience contact, where they can see so many divergent realities?
Some may be capable. For some, it will simply not be relevant for them to perceive it that way. It depends on the individual and the theme that they are exploring and what they will do with that.
Do you expect then that large segments of the population would literally disappear from the reality of those that are going to have contact?
Yes.
Okay, and so that would not necessarily, how would that occur? How would that occur?
You are constantly shifting, remember.
Yes.
It may not actually be such a big mystery. The idea would be, just like sometimes you have contact with individuals you call friends, and then sometimes years later you simply find that you haven't seen them for quite a while, and you don't necessarily think anything of it. You just imagine they have gone on to their own path, and that your paths will not necessarily cross again. You may have different ideas about what that experience will be like, but it won't necessarily be a mystery for many. It'll simply be like people have simply left your life, have gone out of your life. Some may appear to have died, but some may simply not be around for so long that you simply don't think about them anymore, or you wonder where they went, but never encounter them again.
So I would imagine it's not an accident that we're simultaneously going through massive climate change and potentially a massive extinction event in coordination
Not
with
going to be talking about anything in the way of a prediction, but yes, such things are possible with the shifts going on, because again, you're shifting through versions of Earth. So you may experience a variety of things that are all representative of the splitting prism until you make decisions to align with a particular timeline or path and other versions of Earth that will take you in a different direction.
Well, this will probably make more sense to us as we become more and more used to the level of plasticity, where the
Yes.
Earth can shift a great deal, our realities can shift a great deal. And some of the skills that we're learning right now are how to navigate
Yes.
changing realities that may let you feel unmoored or not as grounded to a specific reality.
Yes, temporarily, but it will become a normal state for you, a state you will get used to in the constant idea of shifting, because the more you understand that you are projecting and creating your physical reality, the less you will rely on the idea of stasis as a representation of stability, and the more you will feel comfortable with the idea that change is truly what is stable.
So that would figure into the idea that many humans do not enjoy change, or they believe that change is uncomfortable, fearful, creates anxiety.
Yes.
Those kinds of things is, in a sense, a skill set that we're learning, is how to be in physical reality or as physical reality with greater amounts of change and seemingly unmoored realities without having getting panicky.
It is not getting used to more change. It is getting used to the idea that you're constantly changing.
Because you mentioned when you're in spirit, you can navigate change quite easily.
Yes.
It's the natural flow. You're always experiencing the next chapter in a sense.
And you are doing so even in physical reality, since that's nothing but a projection of consciousness. Again, it's just that most people on your planet are not aware of it because of the agreement you made to experience the idea of linear time and continuity. But once you accept the idea that you're constantly shifting billions of times per second, you can get used to that idea and form a new understanding and relationship with the idea of change as stability.
So the disorientation that humans often experience around change, this is an issue of definition and attitude?
It is an issue of definition and perspective and attitude, yes. Because again, you're already doing it. That's the irony. You're already changing all the time. You're never the same from moment to moment. It's just about understanding how that serves you in experiencing physical reality.
Is part of our resistance to change the idea that we have to redefine ourselves under new circumstances?
Part of it, yes.
And that perhaps we haven't developed that skill as well as we could have it expressed if we were more clear about who we are and what we're doing here and how this is all happening.
Yes, and those that choose to follow the formula as precisely as possible will find that they actually come to quite enjoy the idea of constant change, because constant change is also the ability to constantly redefine yourself in the way that you prefer to. And therefore, it gives you a sense of freedom.
Now, I know you pretty much answered this question, but I do want to ask it again through the way that this person expressed it. They said, you've talked about how the splitting prism is expanding. In the coming period, is it likely that we will experience sudden dramatic splits where significant parts of the population who are incompatible with the collective vibration suddenly vanish, similar to what you described in the Sasani Shikana experience?
Yes, it's possible. For many people, they may choose to do it a little bit more gently. But yes, it's absolutely possible for someone to have a continuity break like that with linear time.
You had mentioned the eye of the needle. Can you tell us where we are with regard to the eye of the needle, and how and when will we know if we've transitioned to the new Earth?
You are constantly transitioning. You need to stop, first of all, talking about it as if you're just going from one Earth to another Earth. You have to spread the idea out over the fact that you are constantly transitioning. But in terms of arriving, so to speak, you never stop transitioning. It's just that you will start to notice eventually that the versions of Earth you are transitioning through, you are shifting through, will be more representative of the kind of reality that you prefer, will be rife with synchronicity to your advantage, will be joyful and constantly creative. So you will know when you arrive at the time stream of the different versions of Earth that you will continue to go through, that'll be more and more reflective of that state of being. You will recognize it, but that doesn't mean you've stopped shifting. It doesn't mean you've stopped going from one version to another. It's just that you have constantly now gotten to the point where you choose only versions that reflect the idea of what we just described.
And is there anything you can share with us about the things that are happening sort of behind the scenes that are increasing the probability of certain events on the planet?
Well, again, I and others are pumping different kinds of vibrational frequencies into the vortices around your planet to give you more opportunities to make decisions based on your preferred choices, to make it easier for you to transition without going through the idea of shock treatment. So the idea is whether or not you're willing to really look deeply within yourselves, let go of the belief systems that don't serve you, and align your frequency with the frequencies that we are sending into these vortices that you can take advantage of if you are willing.
Okay.
And now, we will encourage you to relax, use whatever techniques of lights, music, silence, whatever you wish, to move forward in this meditative state and let go of the cares of the day and realize through the idea we have shared with all of you of acknowledgement, appreciation, and allowance, to stay in a state of grace, to choose to be appreciative and grateful for what you have, who you are, what you experience in life, for all of it can be used to your advantage. All of it can be used to learn who you are from a new perspective if you choose to use it that way. So as you breathe gently and easily, allow your hearts to open up in gratitude and deep appreciation to the life that you have created for yourself. For all of it is precious, all of it is worthy, all of it is valuable, all of it is capable of allowing you to learn, to grow, to experience what you need to attract what you need in life, to be more and more of who you are in a new way. Feel that sense of appreciation as deeply as you can in the center of your being, in the center of your soul. Even the idea that there may be negatively created experiences can be utilized by you in ways to learn, to grow, and appreciate yourself more and more, and appreciate your connection to Source, to all that is, to everyone and everything in it. Because everyone and everything is it from a different point of view. Give thanks, give appreciation, acknowledge what you have, not what you don't have. For what you don't have is not relevant for you now. It may become so, it may not. But what you have is what's relevant. What you have and what you experience is what needs to be there to reflect to you what you need to know to be more of who you truly are. Acknowledge it. Let it in. Appreciate it. Really cherish it. Really value it. And allow what needs to happen next to come. You are already in control. Just allow what needs to be there. And whatever it is, even if it's something you objectively don't prefer, know that it's there for a reason that can serve you if you let it, if you allow it. Allow it. Stay in that positive state of acknowledgement and appreciation, and you'll be able to utilize everything that manifests in a way that benefits your being, your life, your connections, your growth, your joy, your creativity, your imagination. Expand your understanding of your definitions of things. Change them where they don't work for you. But appreciate that what was there in the old definition is what allowed you to learn that it is important for you to change them to something that works for you. Everything is a stepping stone that can be used to your advantage if you use it that way. Breathe it in, make it your own, and choose. Choose what you prefer. You don't tend to do things. Those are simply learned responses. You are making choices even if they are unconscious, because you believe they benefit you, even if you know they don't intellectually. Examine them, appreciate your ability to know yourself, to investigate yourself, to find those beliefs that don't work for you, that you may have picked up along the way, along the journey, that can inform you as to what you would prefer to believe, as to what you know is true. This is not naivete. It is not ignorance. It is not a denial of what is there. It is not a denial of the things you don't prefer. It is more awareness of those things so you can make choices more clearly. Becoming more aware of what you don't prefer is what allows you to become more aware of what you do prefer, if you use it that way. So never shun the darkness. The darkness is what allows you to see the light more clearly. Use them to your advantage, both of them, in balance, in awareness. Make conscious choices. Make conscious connections. And act upon your joy, your passion, and your excitement. For that is the higher mind telling you that this is who you are. So you will have more to acknowledge, more to appreciate, and more to allow. Our deep appreciation and unconditional love to you all, our joy to you all, our laughter to you all. In this season, we give thanks for you. Give thanks for yourself and all that is. Welcome home. Sweet dreams and good day.